Okay, so this is Chapter 1, Retest Practice. This is just for grade 6. Remember to show all your work, circle your answers, and bring this paper with you when you're ready to retest. This is your ticket to retake the test. Notice it says to write the rate as a unit rate. This means we have 1 in the denominator. So to go from, and notice my units, inches, hours, so I must have inches, hours on this side. To go from 6 to 1, I have to divide by 6. That means I have to divide by 6 on the top. 3 divided by 6 is 1/2, or you could write 0.5. 0.5 inches. On number 2, we have 70 miles in 2 hours. Miles, hours, miles, hours. Unit rate means 1 in the denominator. To go from 2 to 1, I have to divide by 2. 2 divided by 2, so I divide by 2. 70 divided by 2, or just half of it, is 35. 35 miles per 1 hour. That is the unit rate. 35 miles in 1 hour. Okay, number 3, hamburgers. Mrs. Farley made 72 ounces of hamburger into 24 meat patties. 72 ounces, 24 patties. How many ounces of hamburger are in each? That means 1 meat patty. 1 meat patty. Okay, so that's what I'm looking to find, how many ounces. You know, I probably should have made a step in between here, if you cannot do division easily. And I know that, let's see, what will go into both of these? I think 8 will go into both of these. I can think of clearly as 8. I know there's larger numbers. So I'm just going to put one of these things in here, like this. And I know that 8 goes in there 9 times. And I know 8 goes in there 3 times. Okay, now to go from 3 to 1, I divide by 3, and the answer is 3. And by the way, 24 does go into 72 3 times. 24 times 3 is 72. So the answer is 3 ounces. We have a bookstore that bought 160 copies of a book from the publisher for $4,000. $4,000 for 160 copies. If the store gives away 2 books, how much money will it lose? How much is it going to cost them? Well, I know that in 4,160, I know 40 will go into both. You could use another number, but 40 will work. 40 goes into 160 4 times. Is that correct? 40 times 4? Yeah, 40 times 4 is 160. And 40 goes into a 4,000. In case you can't see that, if I have 4,000, and if I divide it by 40, what am I going to left with? Let's see, 4 goes into 4 once. I'm left with 100. Goes there 100 times. 40 times 100 is 4,000. Just count the zeros. 1 0, 2 0, 3 zeros and a 4. And then to go from 4 to 2, I just take half of it, right? Divide by 2, take half of this. That would give me 50. So the answer is 50, wait, 50 what? 50 dollars. That's how much money they lose. $50. On number 5, it says the ratio of cats to dogs seen by a veterinarian in 1 day is 2 to 5. That's 2 cats for 5 dogs. For every 5 dogs. If a vet saw 40 dogs in 1 day, how many cats did he see? That's the question. How many cats? We have cats, dogs, cats, dogs. This is how you set it up. So, let's see. 5 goes into 40. 5 times 8 is 40. So 2 times 8 is 16. So the answer is 16 cats. That's how many the vet would see in 1 day. Number 6, which of the following ratios is equivalent to 5/7, 5 over 7? Okay, so which one of these will work? Well, it looks like this one works to me, so I will try that one. You can try every single one if you want, but notice 10 over 14, 7 times 2 is 14, and 5 times 2 is 10. So this is a correct answer. And just to prove that to you, for example, if I used 10 over 12, if I put 10 over 12 in here, let's see, 5 times 2 is 10. Is 7 times 2 12? No. No, it's not equal. It's not equivalent. So you try the other ones, they will be the same. They will not be equivalent. Only the answer D is correct. Number 7, the table shows the cups of whole wheat flour required to make some dog biscuits. And the question is, how many cups of whole wheat flour are required to make 35 biscuits? How much? Well, let's see. We're trying to get to 35. So couldn't I take half of this to get to 5 and then times it by 7 to get 35? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and divide by 2 and then to get 5, and then I will multiply by 7 to get 35. So I have to do the same thing here. I divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then I multiply by 7. 1 times 7 is 7. And I have my answer. So the answer is 7 cups of whole wheat flour. It says, how many cups of whole wheat flour are required to make 35 biscuits? 7 cups. Number 8, what is the greatest common factor of 36 and 42? Remember, factors are small. They're small. So we have 36. I already wrote out the factors, the numbers that multiply to 36. And here's the numbers that multiply to 42. So which one do they have? Which is the greatest one they have in common? I know they have a 3 in common. I see they have a 2 in common. I see they have a 6 in common. And that's it. And the biggest one is 6. 6 is the largest common factor of 36 and 42. Okay, this is the back side of the paper. Number 9, a china shop receives a shipment of 125 dishes in 5 boxes. So I have dishes in boxes, dishes in boxes. 125 dishes in 5 boxes. At this rate, how many dishes will it receive in 15 boxes? Okay, so I just need to figure out this number here. Well, to go from 5 to 15, I have to multiply by 3. So you have to do the same to the top. You multiply by 3. 125 times 3. And if you cannot do it in your head, you would go ahead and do it to the side. 125 times 3. But you should be able to see that it's 375, right? If you have $1.25 3 times, that's 375. The answer is 375 dishes. That's how many dishes will be in 15 boxes. Okay, I feel like I have to prove this to you. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 more is 7. And 3 times 1 is 3. 375. Julia, number 10. Julia can type 150 words in 5 minutes. At this rate, how many words can she type in 1 minute? So we have words, minutes, words, minutes. So that's how you have to set it up. And we have 150 words in 5 minutes. And we want to know how many words she can type in 1 minute. 1 minute. So, to go from 5 to 1, I divide by 5. So you have to do the same to the top. You divide by 5. And 150 divided by 5 is it 30? 30 words? Let's double check that. 150 divided by 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. Bring down the 0. 5 does not go into 0. 30. 30 words. Number 11. Oh, it says, write what is each rate written as a unit rate. We want a unit rate. That means we want 1 in the bottom. So let's see. We have 180 miles on 6 gallons. Miles, gallons, miles, gallons. 180. 180 miles. 6 gallons. Now we want to know how much for 1 gallon. So we have to divide by 6. You need to divide by 6. Excuse me, that's messed up here. So 180 divided by 6. Well, doesn't 6 go into 18 3 times? And then just add a 0. 30. And if you don't believe me, 180 divided by 6. 6 goes into 18 3 times. None left over. Bring down the 0. 3 goes into 0 0 times. 30. 30 is miles is a correct answer. Number 12, we have $120 for 15 books. Dollars, books, dollars, books. And so we're trying to figure out how much it is for 1 book. So you have to divide by 15. 15 divided by 15 is 1. So I have to divide this top by 15. 120 divided by 15. Divided by 15. And if you do not know how to do this, you could make it smaller beforehand by figuring out how many 5s go into it. Or if you want to, you could count by 15s. And if I counted by 15s on the side, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, 105, 120. Notice I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 15 is 120. So the answer is $8. $8. Let me show you one other quick way. This may be a little more complicated, but you could do this since you're used to it. You could go ahead, 5 goes into both of these. 5 goes in there, 3, right? 5 times 3 is 15. And then 5 goes into 120. Now, if you're not too sure about that, I'll just do it to the side. 5 goes into 120. 5 goes into 12. 2 times. 2 left over, bring down the 0. 5 goes into 24. 24. And then 3 goes into 1. If I do that, if I divide by 3, I get 8. So it comes out the same if you choose to do this method. Okay, number 13. Maggie's grandmother uses 16 limes to make 2 key lime pies. 16 limes, 2 pies. At this rate, how many limes does she need? How many limes does she need to make 6 pies? 6 pies. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. So all I have to do is multiply by 3. And if you do not know what 16 times 3 is, you would simply do it to the side. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3, and 1 more makes 4. 48. So this is 48. So the question is how many limes? I'm just going to write it here. 48 limes to make 6 key lime pies. Number 14, the table shows results of a survey about the types of video games students own. Here's the types of video games. Find the ratio of the number of video games rated everyone 10 plus to the total number of video games. All right, so let's take a look here. This is everyone 10 plus is right here. That's 140. 140 videos. And then to the total, which is 615. All right, so now what we need to do, I know I can reduce this because I know 5 will go into both of these. 5 does. So you have to do some long division and figure out how many times 5 goes into both of these. All right, so I need to divide both the top and the bottom by 5. So I'll just do this to the side. So 140 divided by 5. Let's see. 5 goes into 14 twice. That's 10. 4 left over. Bring down the 0. 5 goes into 40 8 times. So that's 28. 28. Now divide 615 divided by 5. So I'll do it now. And let's see. 5 goes into 6, 1. 1 left over. Bring down the 1. 5 goes into 11 twice. 1 left over. Bring down the 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times. Hey, 1, 2, 3. 123. 123. And that is our final answer. There's nothing more that's visible that will go into that. Okay, a hair salon bought 12 headbands for $24. 12 headbands, $24. At this rate, how much will 48 headbands cost? 48. Well, you know what? If I times it by 4, 12 times 4 is 48. So we need to multiply this by 4, 24 times 4. Just do that to the side. 24 times 4, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8. 1 more makes 9. So 96. So 96 what? Pennies? Dimes? No, it's $96. Remember, units are important. Okay, we're almost there. Last problem. On his shelves, Trenton had 15 biographies, 15 science fiction books, 7 reference books, and 11 mystery books. Find the ratio of biographies to the total number of books. Biographies, let's see. There's 15 biographies. So, let me put that down below here. Excuse me for a minute. So, 15 biographies to the total number of books. Well, I just happened to think ahead of time and I wrote down the number of books. Let's see, we have 15 of this, 15 of that, 7 of those, and 11 of those. So 15, 15, 7, 11. 15, 15, 7, 11. That adds up to 48. 48. So that's our bottom number, 48. So it's 15 over 48. I'm pretty sure this can be reduced. I know that 5 goes in there, but 5 doesn't go there. 3 goes in there, and 3 does go into 48. All right, so let's see. If I divide this by 3, I'm just going to put that there. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 48 divided by 3, and if you do not know that number, 48 divided by 3. This works every time. So let's see. 3 goes into 4 one time. 1 left over, bring down the 8, excuse me, and 3 goes into 18 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18, nothing left over, so the answer is 16, right? So 48 divided by 3 is 16. This cannot be reduced anymore. Nothing will go into both of those. They have no common factor except 1. And that is your answer.